Good evening, everyone. Can we all hear me? Good evening.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening once again. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Welcome to our pro bono session for for the month of May. Right, we are happy to have everyone who is on call here. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be commencing right now. I am expecting for us to have relatively quite a number of people on this particular call. So please, in 1 minute, I'll be reaching out back to the professionals to see if we can get everyone on call so that we can commence.
Okay, sir.
All right. All right, good evening once again, everyone. So we'll be commencing right about now. And, we'll just be reading out the case so that we don't waste time. And then, as people join in, we'll get to hear from the rest of the people on the call. So please, I would like to kindly ask if we can indicate, if you are a professional on the call, please, can you kindly indicate by the raise of hands so that I would know. So please, if we have any professional on the call, please, can we indicate by the raise of hand? Or the use of an emoji. Okay. So I will not be wasting any time. I will just okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Awal. So I will not be wasting any time. We'll be going straight ahead to read the case. So I'll just be going ahead to introduce myself, and then we'll be reading the cases that we have on ground. So good evening. My name is Dennis Williams, and welcome to the Jiipcc Pro Bono session. Without further ado, I would like to give a brief overview of what JIIPCC is about. So JIIPCC is an academic consulting and legal firm dedicated to delivering specialized services to students, clients, and partners worldwide. At JIIPCC, we train, impact, and transform lives, actively preparing and positioning Africans for the future. So far, we have mentored over 850 university students, young professionals, and startups across more than 10 African countries. The Jiipcc Pro Bono session is a free legal consultation that provides free legal guidance to individuals and businesses. Please take note that this session and any advice gotten from the JIIPCC professionals team does not constitute any form of specific or varied legal consultancy or legal advice in any form whatsoever. JIIPCC will not be liable in any form or manner for actions taken afterwards. Therefore, individuals are advised to seek further legal counsel or consult us for a proper legal advisory, referrals, or seek legal advice from their preferred lawyers. Moving forward to our next agenda for today, we'll be taking on our first client. And here on my list, we have four clients that we have on ground. Um, okay, I don't know if all four are here, but I will just be doing well to read out the clients, what the client sends in. So our first client for today is Miss Faith Dosi Yina, sorry for that pronunciation. If I do not get your name right, please you can always draw my attention so that I can, I can take it again and pronounce it properly. So Faith is a young graduate who is passionate about development and about both in local and international level, and passionate about entrepreneurship and humanitarian work. She owns a business, a male clothing brand, which she is working to make it a big international brand. She needs consultation because she would like to register her brand and run her business legally, avoid tax evasions, aversions, and any other illegal means of running her business. She also has passion for development and humanitarian works, which she would love to pursue a career in international development law and work with the United Nations, particularly United Nations Development Program. So Miss Faith is our first client for today. Our second client for today is Dr. Ibe Jude Stephen. I think I can see Dr. Ibe on call. Thank you so much for joining in. We're happy to have you in this session. Dr. Ibe Jude, a veterinarian with a passion to caring for humans and animal life and well-being. He needs to enhance his knowledge to be able to impact the society at large. Okay, that is from Dr. Ibe Jude. Our third client for today is Francis Fame. Mr. Francis is an up and coming artist who is trying to scale through the entertainment industry, both as an artist and a record label CEO, and wants to know more about intellectual property, especially in the entertainment sector slash music industry. He wants to know everything that entails from being an artist to having a manager and other crew members, with percentage to pay and signing of contracts for endorsement deals. He needs knowledge to scale through. Our first client for today is Mr. Hassan Abdullahi Yunus. I can see Mr. Hassan on the call. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Mr. Hassan is a process engineer that practices electrical and panel control design. He needs legal guidance and advice. So those are our clients for today. Those are our clients for today. Okay, I can see we have more professionals on the call. Thank you so much for joining. So we will go ahead and start with our our clients. We would want you to introduce yourself, tell us the reason why you are here, and I can see a few of our what are they called, our professionals already on the call, and I'm sure they will do well to give us counsel as much as possible. So I'll be starting with Mr. Jude. Mr. Jude, thank you so much, sir, for joining. You're welcome. Please, we would like to meet you and know specifically why you are here and how best you want us to help you. Over to you, Mr. Jude, if you can hear me. Okay, am I audible? Can we all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, all right. So if Mr. Jude cannot hear me, or is having network issues, we'll be moving over to Mr. Hassan Abdullahi. Mr. Hassan, over to you. Please, we
Okay,
would like
hello,
to
sir.
meet you and then get to hear from you. Yeah, hello, we can hear you. Good
Okay,
evening, Mr. Hassan.
okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hassan Abdullah Yunusa, engineer. Even though I was not given a full title of engineering for by the current, so I'm a graduate of chemical engineering, which I'm practicing the process engineer. Here now as a control room operator in Dangote Cement, and also I'm also deep in the process of panel control, there's panel designing and panel fabricating, and also and solar installation and the solar maintenance and all our that. So I just want to need a guidance and the law. I'm trying to start up a company, which I'm expecting the plan is going to start it like in next 2 years, but I want to start from the scratch by knowing the rules and regulation, the process I'm supposed to follow in order to build or to start up is something or to make a little company that's going to give a surprise to the ones that have been in the system for long, either by knowing the laws or by knowing the actual constitution about the all the influx or all the issues that used to happen or the actual problem that I'm facing through the registration or all the constitutionally based on the country, has it's illegal, it's illegal. We may not have some knowledge. It's legal practitioners that already know how they can handle the issues, and then especially in the case of contract, you may be given a contract, and then the actual client, which is already have his own legal practitioners already, may see that there is some errors, and then is going to use those errors in order to where you may end up at the end of the project without getting anything, and then there is no any way that you can come back and review or something like that. So all this guidance is going to be like a very important or very something that I'm going to use in order to achieve the starting up, and then by growing gradually or even going faster, not or more than the way I'm expecting or I'm planning. To thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan. Thank you for sharing. I want to believe you are in the right place and you'll be able to get the necessary guidance that you need. So we'll be heading over to our professionals right about now. I'm sure we heard what Mr. Hassan said. You know, he communicated his desire to wanting to start a company, and then he wants to know basically what are some of the nitty gritties he needs to have in place or in check, knowledge gaps that he may be falling short in, so that he's not caught unawares, and also as matters pertaining to contracts, you know, he wants to have an edge. So generally, this is going to surround business laws and corporate law, right? So for our professionals who are skilled or experts in that, please can we go ahead to help Mr. Hassan as much as we can, you know, with some kind of guidance on how he can go around, you know, his company's activities, the plan for his company's activities. Okay, all right, starting from registration and every other thing he will need to know. So please, if we have any professional who would like to contribute, please you can indicate by raise of hand or use of an emoji, and then I'll call you forth to share your contributions. And if you have any other thing you would like to add, if any other professional has any other thing to add, you know, you can always chip in. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwuemeka. Please, you can go ahead on mute, and then we would have your contribution.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening,
Yes.
Hassan.
Good evening.
You know, first things first, it's good that you've brought your concerns to what's essentially a group of lawyers with diverse skills, right? And long and short, you're just going to need legal guidance, especially concerning your contractual needs. You've expressed the need for help with contracts, so that you have an idea or a guide as to how to go about it. But first and foremost, let's start with registering a company. Yeah, so I'm curious as to why, a company and, not other forms of business. Do you actually, want to register your business as a limited or, a PLC or do you want to establish it as another form of business that, perhaps would, it would be quote unquote less capital intensive to run? If you've decided on the company, that is great. You then have to proceed to register it. Registration of a company, is something any CAC, any affiliated CAC agent can undertake. So you'd have to reach out to perhaps one or, more of us are on this call who can actually handle it. You register it, and what do you need to provide? You need a means of identification, the proposed name of your business, the proposed address of your business, what exactly the business is about. That would be the objective. So these are information you need to provide. These are things you need to think about and then revert to whoever would help you register it. I believe it's something we can do here in-house as professionals. You think of this information and have it down. The name of the business, the address of the business, the objectives of the business, and the shares. How much shares do you want the business to have as an entity? And, you have this in mind if you want to, perhaps bring in others as investors who would, invest in exchange for shares. Or who else are you setting up this business with? Are you setting it up, in connection with other people who would, require shares as proof of ownership? What is the share structure? These are things you think about. And, past the point of registration, past the point of incorporation, if you actually do decide to go into business, you need your capital. If you're getting this capital through, selling the equity of your business, if you're getting it through borrowing, that is debt. These are things you need to consider. And in the line of your business, you express the need for, contract, a need to understand contract as you go about your business. You may opt to do it by yourself, but I would recommend having a legal practitioner who you can call up and send contracts to, especially when you want to undertake important work activities. Your line of work your line of work is one that, you would perhaps, be given projects to work, or you'll be given, things to do and stuff like that. And if you are not contractually, if your contracts are not tight, if they are not airtight, it could lead to several delays, especially delays that cost business delays in time, delays in payment, delays as to, the kind of job to be done. So this is something you will need a lawyer by your side to help you as you go. It's not, it's not something you want to handle yourself. So that is what I have to say for now.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chukwuemeka. I can see Fasilat, right? Fasilat, if I'm pronouncing your name well. Thank you for your indication. Please, you can go ahead and chip in your own contribution if you have any.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm Fasilat. I think Mr. Chukwuemeka has said most of it. So I'll just probably run through the things you need to put in place. So as he had explained, you need to register your company. You need to register a company. So he mentioned those things. Mr. Chukwuemeka had already mentioned the things you need to get together, the information you require to register a company. Also, I understand that you might want to get SCOMO certificate in order to register your company, to get a business account. To open an account in a bank for your business. So you might want to get that. Okay, so when you register your company, the tax identification number too would come with it. So that's why you need a professional, like a lawyer, to do those things for you, as Mr. Chukwuemeka had explained. So basically, that's it. And yes, once your company is registered, there's something called annual returns, which you're meant to be filing after you've registered your company. Not immediately, but you might just want to put that in mind because it doesn't end with you registering your company. You have to file annual returns as well. That's when your company is registered and like 10 months or thereabouts after registering your company. So you might want to like note that as well so that you don't just think it ends with incorporating your company. So basically, yeah, I think that's it. And just like Mr. Chukwemeka had explained, you also need to have someone around you, like a lawyer, that would probably like review your contracts, because drafting and reviewing of contracts, you need someone to do that for you as well. You can't, if you have a company, you have to like do so many contracts that you might want to enter into. So you need a lawyer to review them for you. I mean, to ensure that you're on the safe side. Yeah, basically that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Fasilat. Okay, we'll be taking one last contribution and then we'll be moving to the next client, and that's from Mr. Oluwasegun. Please, you can go ahead, and we'd like to hear from you what you have for our clients, Mr. Hassan.
Thank you, sir. So I think I just want to emphasize, like, basically is what both Mr. Chukwemeka and Ms. Fasat has already mentioned, the need for legal advice. Like, all the things that has been said are not things, we wouldn't advise you to go and do it on your own, because aside the registering of the company, like they said, the contracts and even compliance. I know you mentioned you are an engineer, so the company, I believe, is going to have to do with something with engineering, and it's likely the Corporate Affairs Commission, that is those in charge of registering the company, they won't be the only institution or organization you would have to report to, or your company would have to report to, if your company will do anything like engineering projects and all. So I just want to emphasize that need for you to have legal counsel both before the registration, during and after the registration, because compliance is also part of what gives you an edge, what will give you an edge in business. So I just wanted to emphasize that seek legal help beyond this session. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Oluwasegun, and thank you to all our professionals that contributed to hearing or to advising Mr. Hassan. Mr. Hassan will be reaching out to you after this particular meeting. You can, if you want to get professional legal advice, where you want to pick from a pool of lawyers who you want to carry on with, you can do that. You can reach out to us. If you have your contracts, you can always send it to us for review. We'll do well to help you around it. So once we reach out to you, if you have any of that need, you can always let us know, and we'll do well to help you as best as we can. And then we'll be moving over to our next clients. Okay, I can see we have about three or four of them on the call. I think we'll be going to Mr. Fame. Mr. Fame, if you're with us, we also want to hear from you quickly in 2 minutes. Why exactly are you here with us? We would like to hear that, and if we have any advice, we would also be giving that to you. So, Mr. Fame, you can go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. So my name is Francis Femi Koisho. I'm an independent artist. So I'm also looking forward to like starting like a music record label, which will also involve the signing other artists, per se, but also as an independent artist. I want to know more about, contract signing, with manager, and also just in case I get probably like like a loan per se, or a record label deal in the process. I want to know more about basics negotiation in between, and also sharing percentage between even with managers or maybe other necessary positions in the crew, and then also just generally about the music and the intellectual property, copyrights, trademarks of it, my songs, the music I put out there. So that's just it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fim. So over to our professionals. Mr. Francis is within the entertainment industry, and I'm sure one or two of the lawyers on ground. We have maybe one or two entertainment lawyers on ground. So please, if we have any advice for Mr. Francis Fim, you can go ahead and unmute and share your thoughts. You can raise your hand so that I can just call you. That's to our professionals. Do we heard Mr. Francis? Do we have any counsel for him? Okay, can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, all right. Okay, Mr. Oluwasegun, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I didn't get all the thing. I think you asked for help regarding contracts. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct, sir. That's correct.
All right.
Regarding
So
contracts and also with the other crew involved in the music, for example, like the manager, the PR, the publicity, still based on contract, but how percentages are shared around or how is payments, especially for this um, those that are not more like permanent. Just general, and also copyright of the music and trademarks, royalties if possible too, just around the entertainment music industry. Yes, sir.
okay. All right. I'm sure that professionals will also have thought to add, but I know there's what they call a split sheet that we usually use in such situations where each person that plays a role as like they determine the percentage, and as the person owning the music, I think it depends on your own negotiating and also what you are offering and what you want to get. It's a contract, so as much as possible, I think just like all the other advice, you still need legal guidance from the very beginning. Like check every contract you make. And when it comes to your IP rights, that is your copyrights and all in the music in question, I think you should be careful. You really need a lawyer to guide you through, because I think in my own experience, we've seen different music, let's say music royalty agreement, where instead of maybe licensing, you are signing the term of such agreements are not well defined. So it still goes back to know what percentage you are to release and then what rights you are granting. If, for example, you are giving distribution rights to a particular person, does that distribution right also mean that you are signing your right, or is it a license? So I think in the end, everything there, you can go through a lot, but it still goes back to your negotiation and also legal guidance. You should have a lawyer with you at every point, your own lawyer, not necessarily the other parties there. And then for people that their roles are not so permanent, it's not necessary you give the if you can negotiate a different kind of compensation for what they put in, or maybe make it time bound. That's just my thought on it. But I think, like I said, from the beginning to the ending, you require legal counsel, and also your negotiating power should also work into it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Oluwasegun. Mr. Chukwemeka, please, over to you.
Hi. So the reason I hesitated, right, in answering the question was because Mr. So I think for Fame, is that right, Mr. Fame?
Yes, you are correct, Fame.
Okay, yes. Mr. Fame's question is loaded because you're not just asking us how to put, you're asking us to essentially give a rundown of how to essentially legally manage or exactly legally manage, owning a record label, because it's not we could speak from now to tomorrow, right? And if there's no legal practitioner who is not just versed in entertainment law, but essentially, because running a record label, you're going to have more than just entertainment and contract. You're going to have, perhaps even apart from the registration of the label, the incorporation of the label itself, whatever business form you're using, you're going to have employees, and that is a subset of law that is different. You're going to have royalty conversations. You're going to have advertisements. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So the best bet: hire a professional, hire somebody that would do the business, that would walk the walk with you, that would do the business with you. And I honestly don't think the advice you're going to get here would matter much, because at best it will be generic and it will not be suitable for your for your particular condition, which is what the questions you're asking. Hire someone that is well versed in the business you're about to enter, and let them guide you through the process so that you don't make mistakes, you don't make avoidable mistakes. Essentially, I really hope this helps.
Yes, it do. It helps. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Chukwuemeka and Mr. Oluwasegun. Do we have any other person that would want to maybe chip in something before we move to the next clients? Okay. In the absence of any further contributions, right, we'll be going over to our next client. Mr. Jude, if you're with us, the floor is yours. We would like to hear from you in 2 minutes. You just telling us why you are here exactly, and how best you think we can help you. Mr. Jude. Okay, if Mr. Jude is having particular issues, I think I can see Fitz on the call. Miss Fitz, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much for joining in. We're happy to have you here. So please,
Thank
we
you.
would like to hear from you in 2 minutes. Just tell us, what exactly is the reason why you are here, what particular challenge that you have, and how you would want us to help you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And I'm here for a consultation about my brand. So I own a male clothing brand and I'm considering registering it, which is what I should do. But then I'm thinking, should I register it as a business or as a company? Because subsequently I would want to go into other aspects of business too. So I'm just confused if I should register it as a business now, then later register it as a company, or I should just register it as a company from scratch. So that's my question.
All right, thank you, Faith. So please, do we have any advice for Ms. Faith?
Let me take a shot at this. So Faith, the considerations for choosing specific forms of business or specific forms of, should I use the word? Specific forms of entities, business entities to, through which you can establish your own business. It's not, a lot of consideration goes into it. Things like ownership. Are you comfortable with bringing in other people to perhaps own portions of the business in terms of holding shares, or you selling shares for the involvement of other people? Or is it a business you want to run yourself, solely for yourself and by yourself? Or even if you're bringing someone in, you're not sharing ownership of the company or bits of the company with others. And things like tax reasons. If you own a company, you're not just paying annual returns there. Perhaps when your profit reaches a particular threshold, or your turnover reaches a particular threshold, you have to start worrying about the company's income tax and compliance, a whole broad range of compliance, which you would perhaps not even be bothered with if you perhaps decide to register as a business name. So these are the considerations. Future, do you plan on expanding in the videos? Do you see the business? Do you see borrowing funds? Do you see reaching out to investors using the your share capital as an incentive for business for investors to invest? Do you think in the future, you want to have perhaps a broad presence, outside Nigeria, which you cannot use a business, which you cannot perhaps do with a business name? What do you want? And these are the considerations that go into choosing the kind of business structure through which you can establish your business. So I'm thinking it's a you question. Once you settle on what do I want? What are the plans for this business? Is this something I want to do for a while and then hang up my boots? Or is this something I want to do for a long time? Is this something I want to have around forever? Or is this something I want to push as far as I can take it? Is it a big dream, or is it something I just want to do for a bit of time? So these are considerations you have to think about, and then I think that would guide you in the kind of structure which you might choose in establishing the business.
Okay, thank you. I actually considered all these things and I want it to be something very big. So the only reason I was thinking between registering it as a business and a company is because I don't know if I can handle the responsibilities of starting a company at this age and all. So that's why I needed consultation.
Okay, if incorporating a company really isn't, it's a business form, it's just a type of structure, right? You can incorporate it and perhaps start small, and really, ideally, off the top of my head, except you blow as quickly as possible. Responsibilities, quote unquote, don't start to pile, except maybe annual returns, which even as a small company, you have to reach a particular threshold or just pay minimum amount, right? But then again, like you said, your readiness to handle these situations. You don't want an instance where you register now and you don't pay attention to filing something as little as an annual return, and then they threaten to strike out your business off the list of registers. So it's not a big deal, but perhaps your readiness is what you're questioning, and I think that is also a good concern too.
Okay, so that means if I'm ready to do it, or when I'm ready, I would need to work hand in hand with the lawyer. Right?
Okay. Do you mean the incorporation of the business, or generally, running the
Both.
business?
Both. No, like the legal aspects and incorporation of the business.
Incorporation, you need a CAC agent, which most lawyers, I think, or a handful of lawyers are. In running the business, it's good to have a lawyer, but it's not more than having a lawyer. It's, do you need a lawyer what do you need a lawyer to do? These are things you perhaps would discuss with a legal practitioner. Oh, I want you to, handle contracts. I want you to give advisory on whether I need, further comply, what kind of compliance I need, or, contracts, what kind of compliance I need, things a lawyer does, right? So
Okay.
it depends. It depends. It really depends.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Blessed, you can go ahead and share your thoughts with us or with our clients.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Faith. First of all, Mr. Chukwemeka has really dealt a huge justice to everything you wanted. However, what I'll just add a little spice to the whole thing. First of all, it depends on the size of your ambition and also the size of your budget. Normally, if you choose to register as a business name at this initial stage, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can.
All right. If you choose to register as a business name at the company, CAC provides that function. But the only disadvantage that comes with registering initially as a business thing is just you won't have some of the benefits that comes with company registration. The most notable one, which is legal personality. which gives your business a life of its own. That's a life separate from you, in the sense that you register as a company, you can acquire properties and all of that. And since you said you intend on it being an international brand, you want to invite investors, and for you to invite investors, being shareholders is the easiest bit. It has to be a company. So as I said earlier, it will depend primarily on the size of your ambition, but also at the size of your budget. So if, for example, now, assuming now your budget now is not so large and you want, but you need to start, then you can definitely go for the business registration to give you the time, and subsequently you can upgrade after a while. You can definitely upgrade. That's as regards the that's as regards the your floating brand. You also made mention of you are also interested and passionate about humanitarian services. Well, it depends generally on which part of humanitarian services you want to go into. Whatever you want to go into, regardless, you need to definitely register that organization as an NGO. And when you register as an NGO, it comes with numerous benefits, which is primary number one. You don't have to pay taxes. Yes, you don't have to pay taxes. And of course, you can actually get funding because we're an NGO. And since an NGO, the primary aim of an NGO is non-profit. The whole idea of an NGO is not to make profit. Definitely, you will get funding from international sources, but primarily, you will need to register your humanitarian organization, whatever the name is going to be, as an NGO. That will be it for now, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Blessed. Just one last time, do we have any other professional who has any contribution within to what Miss Faith has said? Okay. Mr. Oluwasegun, please, you can go ahead.
Um, just a little addition to what the Sachukwemeka and Sableze has mentioned. You should also be intentional about keeping records like your books, your accounts, because all these things are things you use for your annual returns. And if you are going to also consider taxation, it's also something you need to consider. But from the early part of starting the business, especially if you will also be owning the NGO, make sure you have a good handle on your financial records also. Just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you very much. I will.
All right. Thank you to our professionals for your counsel so far. I'm sure they are much appreciated by the clients. Okay. Mr. Jude, are you with us now? Mr. Jude? Okay, for some reason, it seems Mr. Jude is either having network challenges or is unable to share, um, is unable to unmute and share his particular challenge. But okay, Mr. Jude.
I'm back.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for joining us. So, Mr. Jude, we want
I've been
to
with,
hear.
sorry, I was having difficulties with network then on meeting, sorry, but I'm back now.
Oh, all right.
It's good to be here. I'm really learning. And I'm a veteran doctor. I have a very big playlist with registered. But I want to ask questions on how do I do in terms of investment or in terms of something because my company has registered for my company has registered for 7 years, but I've not saved any return on investment, something like that for that 7 years. So it was just of recent. And someone was telling me that if I don't pay that thing, that they might be registered me and that person might claim my my company's name. So but he said that what I should do is that I should just make my return on investment very, very low. I can just put 300,000 annually or 100,000. So I don't really get that ROI stuff. So if I can get a professional that can enlighten me on how to go about it. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. I'm not sure if I clearly heard Mr. Jude. So if we had him quite clearly, please we can chip in. But if not, I would like to ask Mr. Jude to
I actually
respond.
did not. Actually,
Oh, okay,
I think
Mr.
he
Jude.
should
Same here.
take that
Same
again.
here.
I actually didn't get it.
Okay, Mr. Jude, please can you come again? We had difficulties hearing you, so just quickly come again so that we can see how best to help.
Um, okay, what I was trying to say is that I'm a veterinary doctor. I have a clinic that I've been running for about 7 years now. The clinic is duly registered, but I've not paid anything on ROI, return on investment or something. So of recent, I think earlier this year, someone was telling me that if I don't pay my ROI, return on investment, I might be deregistered and someone else might claim my company's name. But he advised me that I can make it very, very minimal, that I can just declare profits, gross income of 100 or 200,000 yearly and net profit of, so that I don't, he just said a lot of things, yeah, but I've paid my ROI with the fine for late payment, but I want to know exactly how this ROI works. If you can enlighten me on it, I would really appreciate. Thank
Do
you.
you mean annual returns? Mr. Jude, do you mean annual returns? Hello?
Mr. Jude, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm asking, do you mean annual returns?
Yes, annual returns.
Okay, and you said
Yeah.
how long have you been in how long have you been running your company? When did you register your company?
I registered 2019. This should be the 6th year. Yes, 2019.
Okay, the 6th year.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other part of, declaring something. I honestly don't want to deal with that, but annual returns are usually a percentage of, I think, what you declare as profits, right? And it's paid on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
I think it's due, if I'm not wrong, June this year, or I can't even remember the time period for payments,
Yes,
but
it's June. It's June.
June. Okay, yes, June this year. So it's a yearly sum you pay, and it's calculated based on your net profit and your net assets of your entire company. So, if you do not, perhaps if you don't have, is it turnover profits? I keep forgetting. I keep mixing it, but net assets, turnovers, that is how it is calculated, right? So whatever you put in, as your turnover there is, and your net assets is what you will be charged. But like, since you said you have paid and you also paid a fine or a penalty for late payment, perhaps, declare your net asset and your net profit this year by June and make the payment.
okay, Mr. Chukwemeka, are you done?
Oh yes, I am.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwemeka. Miss Fasilat, please, you can go ahead. Miss Fasilat, are you with us? Hello. Miss Fasilat, are you with us? Okay. So, Mr. Jude, I hope you were able to pick what Mr. Chukwemeka shared on as
Oh,
regards.
so sorry. I just realized that I didn't unmute myself. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I've been speaking.
Okay, please, you can go ahead.
Yes, so I said that annual return, like just to add to what Mr. Chukwemeka had explained, is filed between June to December 30th every year, excluding the year of incorporation of your company. And I'm not sure it's something you can do by yourself because there are some like technicalities to it. So as we had explained earlier to Mr. Azan, I guess, if that's his name. So as a company, you need a legal person for your company. So if you were to file an annual return, so that's your lawyer will be the one doing that for you. In fact, like a company secretary, or sometimes you may not have it if your company is a limited liability company. So annual return should be filed between June to December 30th every year. And if you don't file it that year, you still have to file the one for the following year, and you have to pay penalties for the previous year. So I just said I should include this so that for you to take notes.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Fasilat. So far, so good. We've been able to highlight everything that we have to share to our professionals, from the need to get legal counsel, to get further legal counsel, personal legal counsel, to registering companies, tax return, annual returns, paying attention to particular details. And I hope for the clients we were able to pick up on that. Like I earlier said to Mr. Hassan, and I'm also saying this to every other client, our pool of professional lawyers are always available. You can reach out to us after we send you a mail after this particular session. If you are interested in their services, you can always reach out to us, and we'll do well to connect you with them so that you can carry on further and better get proper advice, which I believe we all need, because based off the 20 minutes consultation, you may not be able to fully take particular steps that will not necessarily that you can use over time. So you will still need some kind of counsel as you keep moving. So not to waste any time, I think, so far so good. Like I said, our professionals have done well to help give counsel to our clients. And please do well to reach out to us. If you have a contract that you would like for us to review, you can always also contact us, and we'll do well to give you feedback as regards to that. Just before we go, as it's within our practice, we used to take pictures for the particular session. So please, for the professionals on call, if you can, we would like to quickly do that in a few minutes. So please, can we turn on our video so that we can take?
I must once again beg to differ. I'm currently outside on the road, so I must beg to differ. I must beg to be excused, rather.
All right, no problem, sir. It's fine. All right, so please, if you are in a place where you can turn on your videos, we will do well to. We would really appreciate if you can. Also for our clients too as well, please, we would like to have a picture reference for this particular session. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chukwuemeka. Thank you, Mr. Hassan. Okay, Mr. Fame, it's nice seeing you too. Thank you for turning on your video. All right, so we are done with that. So Mr. Hassan, you said you enjoyed the session. We really appreciate, or we are thankful that you did. I noticed you said you were requesting for a certificate. We currently don't offer certificates yet for the consultancy. Subsequently, maybe we'll be incorporating that, but right now we don't. Right, but you can always keep up with us, keep in touch with us, and we'll do well to, like I said, help you as much as we can. So thank you everyone, to both clients and professionals for being on call. We'll do well to stay in touch with you.
Sorry, Dennis. Hello.
Yes, Mr.
I'm so sorry. I was going to suggest. I really don't know, but I was going to suggest, right? Especially questions that has to do with royalties and artist agreements. I don't know if it was Mrs. Juliana or is it Sophie? I'm not sure who spoke at it at length the last meeting or the last two meetings we have. So I was thinking if we could have all that in a primer, right? And whoever has issues relating to that, we could hand it over to them for them to perhaps read or just enlighten themselves before finally meeting up with us, so that questions can be, should I use the word? Questions can be addressed adequately. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that, sir. Thanks for this suggestion. I really need that.
All right. Yes, Mr. Chukwemeka, I got your question. So we'll do well to see how best we can incorporate that. We'll probably take, okay, yeah, we'll do well to see how we can do that, where we have just additional documents that we'll send along to the clients, especially things pertaining to royalties and just generally within the music industry. I think Ms. Juliana should be able to assist with that. I will do well to reach out to her and have that discussion with her. So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining in. Really, really happy to have all of us here on this particular call. Till next time, and for our clients, I hope you have found the information that you have received here very useful. We wish you the best in your endeavors moving forward, and we hope that you can get the full assistance that you need in the future. Well, good evening or good night, everyone, and please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, good night. Thank you, sir.